about all of this. You need to draw some conclusions here. The following, which are, last year was arguably the mass awakening. This is when all bets were off and everybody got red-pilled about Israel. Everybody woke up, right? Everybody's talking about it. I went super viral. Other people went super viral. Piers Morgan, Megyn Kelly, Tucker, Candace. The pro-Israel lobby has lost so many of the major influencers, arguably lost the public, lost the propaganda war. It's a crisis for the pro-Israel lobby in America. And it was in the midst of that we go to war with Iran. What does this tell us? It tells us that popular opinion and public sentiment has basically no relationship with outcomes, with policy outcomes. How many people did we red pill in 2025? Maybe more than ever. Maybe more than ever before. 2024, 2025. Maybe more people are awake. More people are red pilled. It's hard to quantify. But at the minimum, you know it's way more than before. And it's way more mainstream and way more normalized. And yet, not even a few months later, we're...
Okay, vamos. Vamos. Vamos, 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 vamos. Vamos, loco. ¿Qué onda, loco? Mira. Estás todo pendejo. Estás todo pendejo, loco. Mira.
It's hard to quantify the opposition to it, but it's not mobile. Where's the protest? Where's the mass movements? Where's the outcry? Where are the people that have had enough? Like, where is that? Oh, it isn't there. Because it doesn't matter how much you wake the people up, how much you red pill anybody, you still get a war in Iran. Because what our government does has nothing to do with what the people are actually thinking. And these protests that crop up from time to time, let me ask you this. Sometimes you see something happen in domestic or international policy, and the next day you see a bunch of marchers out there with pre-made signs, t-shirts. You got to wonder, where did they get those signs? Where did they get the initiative? All these deadbeats and fatties and degenerates, where did all these people, they don't even have jobs, but yet within 12 hours, they're all in Times Square with pre-printed signs and t-shirts. You realize even the protests are fake. The protests have always been fake. AstroTurfed. Want to know why there's no mass protests against the war in Iran? No one's funding them. No one's funding them. You don't have anybody, you don't have that machine putting all that out there. And how about the media? Where are they? You would think when something is really unpopular, the media, the fifth estate, which represents the people's interest against the government, you know, maybe they would express the popular discontent. The media is going to punish the administration. Where are they? Oh, they're nowhere to be found. They support it. They support it. They cautiously support it. Why? Because the media is the CIA. The media is the Fortune 500. Who owns the Washington Post? Jeff Bezos. Who owns Fox? Rupert Murdoch. Who owns Paramount, Warner Brothers, Skydance, TikTok? Larry Ellison and his son. So this tells you something about how the world works, what's going on in our country. Trump has betrayed all promises, every fundamental principle, crossed all red lines, done the unthinkable, so unpopular, no appetite for it, and it doesn't even matter. Where's the protest? Where's the outcry? Where are the demonstrations? What about the political capital? What about the approval ratings? None of it matters. None of it matters. And now the only reason why now maybe Trump has to pump the brakes is because the oil prices went a little bit too high. The oil prices went past $120 per barrel for crude oil. And now the Wall Street Journal, and now the New York Times, and now the Washington Post, now they want to rein it in. It's funny how that works, isn't it? Now, this isn't a black pill. I'm not trying to black pill you. Here is what I'm trying to do. All of this is to say, I'm painting a picture here for you. All of this is to say, one, there's no alternative for being right. You don't get credit for trying. You don't get credit for being a martyr and hoisting yourself on your own petard as a truth teller. You have to get it right. It's not enough to say Frankist and Kazarian. We have to know the whole truth and how things work. And two, there's also no substitute for long-term planning, getting into positions of power. What is our end game? Our end game is not to wake up the masses. The masses are fickle and dumb. And all you got to do is literally jangle some keys in front of them and they will look the other way. Okay? They are fickle and they are dumb and they are easily amused. So do not mistake what I talk about on the show. My job is not to wake up the masses. My job is not to get everybody in some groundswell of popular support and we the people are going to go into D.C. and demand our government back. It doesn't work that way. That's Hollywood. That isn't real. That does not happen. My job is to initiate the finest, a small group of young, highly motivated men, not even women. Women, I don't know, red pill your boyfriend. Women, red pill your kids. My job is to initiate the most talented, the smartest, most ambitious young men, youngish, I guess you could say, to get into positions of power. People say, what does that mean? It's very easy to understand. Get into the institutions, get to the top of a professional field, become a billionaire, a centimillionaire, get into the deep state, get credentialed. Because those are the only people that have a say. Those are the people. You know who has a vote? Peter Thiel. He doesn't even win all the time. He wanted his guy to be the national security advisor. It didn't work out. What's his name again? I don't even remember. Flight 93 election. Who even remembers his name? Okay, he doesn't even always win. There's a big fight in the Pentagon between venture capital and private equity. Okay, we want a vote. We want a seat at the table. To do that, we need power. So this should be a brutal and sobering reminder. All these people that say, we got to vote for Trump and then trust the plan. We just got to vote for Trump and we just got to post on Twitter and pressure him or whatever. No. What we need to do is use our power. Take inventory, take stock. What do you have? What do we have? Use it accordingly. Whether it's withholding your vote, joining your college Republicans, running for office, if you're a veteran or a business owner, becoming a high-powered attorney, attending an Ivy League school if that's within your abilities. That's the only way any of this is going to change, clearly. And then those people need to be courageous and brave and smart. Because these people that are, look, we got Trump in the White House. And by that, I mean, this is the present situation. This is what we have. And he folded. He folded under zero pressure. Got to the top, climbed all the way, and then folded. Folded every time. Folded on COVID, folded on BLM, folded on this. That's the way out of it. Other than that, all you could do is pray. But don't tell me it's about waking up the masses. Fuck the masses. That's what I say. You know what I say about the people? The people? Highly overrated. Highly overrated. And I could say that because I'm the Dark Knight here. You know, I'm not running for office. But I'm sick to my stomach by what I'm seeing, how people are being tricked on Twitter. And frankly, it's a lot of stupid boomers that don't know any better. A lot of the young people know better. But even the young people, constantly getting duped, constantly getting tricked. A lot of young people that are all on board. Oh, we got to talk about Muslim immigration. Muslim immigration? Hey, we're at war with Iran, dumbass. Now is actually not the time. Oh, all of a sudden, we just got done finishing mass deportations. Now we're in a war with Iran with no way out that is wildly unpopular. Now the consultants and the paid influencers, now they want to talk to us about ending mass immigration from Muslims. Super interesting. Awesome, finally. But people eat it up. They eat it right up. And you know who the biggest culprits are? These happy-go-lucky, naive, like girl dad types. You know, they're on Twitter. They think they're so naughty because they have an Anon account. They're on Twitter with their little Anon account, says Heritage American in it. I could never say these things at the water cooler work. I tried to get my wife to watch some Blaze show. And then they go on Twitter and they talk about Trump is truly a genius, blah, blah, blah. It's all these pathetic simps, pathetic. We don't have any time for that. You know, these people, they're going to be the vanguard of the institutions. They just have to be silenced forever. Okay, they need to be shut down. Where are the ambitious young men here that see the problem? Not these guys that are henpecked by their wives at the water cooler. I follow Jack Posobiec. You could say I'm sort of a magapede. You could say I'm something of a groiper myself. I follow Jack Posobiec and r/the Donald. I could never say these things at work. My tranny boss would kill me. Fucking disgust me. You are the reason our country is being murder raped, and you should be ashamed of yourself. That's the end of the male life cycle right there. So anyway, I don't know how we arrived there, but like the alarm is sounding. You need to hear it, okay? This is code red, DEFCON 1, okay? This is a big problem here. We are at war with Iran, and no one seems to care. People care, but they are running the counter psyop. They are running the counterintelligence operation, and it's working way more than I thought it would, and I'm getting really mad about it. Tucker is doing a good job. Honestly, you know, I know he hates me. I know, okay, whatever. You don't have to like me, douchebag, but you know what? Honestly, 07s to Tucker, I'll just say, okay, you know, I don't like you. You don't like me. What the fuck ever. You think you're a big shot. 07s, he's actually doing a great job. He is keeping it on message. He's focused up. I could do with a little less alien talk, but whatever. It's fine. It is what it is. You know who's dropping the ball? Candace Owens. I don't want to hear about Kazarians and Frankus anymore. Okay, it isn't true. Zhang PSYOP, go back to Beijing. Jake Lang, Jewish PSYOP, deport him to Israel. Fuck Jake Lang. Okay, and I say that as a real white Christian nationalist. I say that as a real former Trump supporter. I say that as a real counter-Semite. You're a fucking Jew and a douchebag, and you need to go back to Israel, you disgusting pig. I see this guy, and it's like he's literally a paid actor. The way he's doing a fake Trump voice, the way he's doing his best Trump impression, the way he's doing these, it's like, who's paying for the U-Haul van? Bill Ackman? You fucking guy? It's insane. And people are going, oh, he's a patriot. Yeah, he's a patriot for Israel. He's a patriot for the Antichrist. He's a patriot for the New World Order. He's Laura Loomer, except less masculine. You know, I was going to tweet that. I was workshopping that. I was like, he's like Laura Loomer, but a guy. But then I was like, well, he's actually less of a guy. That's a joke. But he's literally doing the same thing as Laura Loomer. Yeah, look over here. And then they trap you into this, oh, so you're defending Muslims. Oh, you're defending Islam. You know who's falling for it? Braden Sorbo. What the fuck is that? Yeah, I'm calling you out, Braden, who totally turned on Elijah Schaffer on a dime. Where's your Rift badge, buddy? What happened? Got too hot for you? I see Braden Sorbo and he's a Jew too. Nice guy. But he's on the timeline. Oh, it's Islam. Oh, it's these Muslim immigrants. What's going on? Is it the blood memory? Like, people need to be called out. We need to go to war. It is time to name and shame the shills. Name and shame every shill. If you are not with your whole being right now against the war in Iran, fuck you. And you need to be called out. Otherwise, don't call yourself right-wing. Don't call yourself America first. Don't call yourself a Trump supporter. What is happening is that our country is under a hostile occupation by international Jewry. American sons and daughters are killing children and civilians and enemy combatants and also being killed by them for the sake of a foreign country's agenda. As long as that is happening, we are not free. We are not sovereign. We are not independent. We are not America. So don't call yourself a patriot. Don't call yourself American. Don't call yourself America first if you are not opposing this with every cell in your body. Otherwise, you are a liar and a hypocrite. That is what matters right now. We can resume all the other stuff later. We can literally resume any other disagreement after we're out of this war. It makes me sick. It's disgusting. This is all going towards building the third temple and the Antichrist being seated on his throne. And you're talking about immigration right now? You know what? Trump has had 15 months. It ain't happening. Now you want to talk about immigration? Where was that when Trump was talking about luncheonettes and farmers? Remember that little episode? Remember that little ditty from January? When Trump said, take it easy, lighten up. We don't need to deport every illegal alien, only the criminals. Where was the immigration talk then? Oh, we're only talking about immigration during the war and only about Muslims because that's who the Jews need us to hate right now so that we go and fight and die in their war, right? We're losing. We're losing our country. We're losing our civilization. We have no sovereignty, and people are not taking it seriously. This is what it's all about, folks. Everything else is the dress rehearsal for this moment, okay? This is when it matters. This is one of these dividing lines. It's not an exaggeration. Like COVID, like the Trump election in 2016, this is one of these dividing lines where this is definitive. This is everything. Where you stand on this issue tells me everything I need to know about you. And how hardcore are you? As far as I'm concerned, there's no excess of opposing this war. This is a war of choice. This is a war of aggression. This is an unwinnable war that nobody asked for. We were dragged into it. They admit it by Israel. We all knew it was coming. They were telling us, well, at least you should have known. I told you. But that doesn't matter now. What matters now is what you do now. What matters now is, are you going to speak out against it? Are you going to use your platform? Or are you going to be a part of this machine? Are you going to be a part of the problem? It's a time for choosing. So anyway, that's that. I do want to move on. I want to get into where we are in this war, which, like I said, I'm absolutely against. I don't even want to fight with Professor Zhang, honestly. He called me out. I want to know his problem with me. I don't want to fight with him. If Zhang and Candace and Tucker and everybody are against the war, I am with them. That is what counts right now. We can have our personal beef and other stuff after the fact. What matters is Americans are dying. Schools are being blown up. The government is lying to us. That's what matters. Anyway, we're going to get into it. Our featured story is about this actual war, and we'll talk about where we are. Now, in many ways, the situation has not changed from last week. The war is unfolding exactly as we knew it would, exactly according to plan. As we talked about at the very beginning, it was a strategic imperative for the White House, for the United States, and Israel for that matter, to go into Iran, quickly and decisively win, and decisively means topple the government, not just kill its leaders, but collapse the government, create an unstable situation, a civil war, a revolution, an uprising, regime change, and then leave. That is how we have to fight this war. That is how we have to win it if we're going to. Now we have entered day 10, and victory is nowhere in sight. We have not toppled the government. We haven't won. And maybe the biggest problem is that we have not been able to suppress Iran's ability to counterattack using its missiles. And so what has happened over the past 10 days is that the United States is getting gassed. It's a little rope-a-dope. The United States has the vastly superior technology. Our ammunition and our weapons are more precise, more efficient. We have far more intelligence, and we are using a strategy called multi-domain operations. And that means that in the early days of the war, which initially, if you recall, they said the war would only last 4 days. In those opening days of the war, it appeared very one-sided and that the United States was winning because we unloaded and we unleashed, and using every domain of modern warfare, which is space, cyber, air, naval, ground, everything that we have, we marshaled all of it, and using intelligence, combining insights and data, we were able to seriously degrade Iran's weapons systems, their ability to defend themselves, their air force, their navy, missile launch platforms, regime targets, regime members. In a word, we unloaded, we unleashed on Iran in those opening days. And in order for us to win, that would have had to have been sufficient to destroy the government, meaning that someone in the government would surrender, or seeing that the government was paralyzed or disabled, the people would rise up and overthrow the government. After that first phase of the war was completed, Iran emerged on the other side, not unharmed, certainly diminished and degraded. However, two things had changed. One, morale went up. We unloaded on Iran. We martyred the supreme leader of their country. We actually dropped a Tomahawk missile on a school, killing 130 children. And by attacking Iran and creating these apocalyptic scenes of destruction and chaos, what we did, and this is what always happens, is we rallied the people of Iran to support their government. It only makes common sense. If China killed the president and then bombed every city from coast to coast, do you think we would then greet Chinese soldiers as liberators, or would we rally behind whoever the successor would be against the foreign attack to repel the invasion? Obviously, it would be the latter. So now that the smoke has cleared, the United States and Israel hit Iran with everything that we had. We sunk their navy, destroyed their air force, their anti-aircraft systems. We have some effective control over their airspace, not complete operational control, but maybe in half of the country. Assassinated half of the military and civilian leadership. The smoke is cleared. We hit them with the worst. And now the Iranian people have rallied. And the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, the actual regime, has also rallied. Arguably, the people that are now in charge are more hardline than the people that came before. They're more obstinate. The second thing to change is that Iran's ability to counterattack has not been completely suppressed or destroyed. Now, Iran, as we have talked about, is a huge country. It's 3 times the size of Iraq, mountains and desert, huge population of 90 million people. The population is dispersed across many large cities, and they have been preparing for this war for decades. So they have transformed their country into effectively a missile and drone factory inside of a fortress. That is what they do. They make ballistic missiles and drones, and they make a lot of them and cheaply, and they make them deep underground so you can't hit them. And these missiles are very mobile as well. So the United States unloaded everything, rallied the government, not destroying it, and the United States did not destroy all of the missiles. So what does that mean? Well, it means that on day 10, even though the United States and Israel have hit Iran 3,000 times and spent, I think it's $3 billion per day so far, Iran is still able to launch missiles without being able to be stopped. And those missiles are hitting the Gulf countries. Those missiles and drones are hitting Bahrain and Qatar and the Emirates. And drones and missiles and projectiles from Yemen are hitting Saudi's eastern province where they have all their oil. Desalination plants are being hit. Other critical infrastructures being hit. And maybe most importantly, the Strait of Hormuz has been closed. The Strait of Hormuz is a narrow passage which unlocks all of the Persian Gulf oil. That is from where the Persian Gulf oil is shipped into the Indian Ocean and out to the rest of the world. So all that oil in Saudi Arabia, in Iran, in Bahrain, in Qatar, in the Emirates, all these oil-rich sheikdoms and kingdoms, we identify the Middle East with oil. It all comes from the Persian Gulf, and it all is transited by sea out the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran is strangling by bombing it relentlessly. And so the commercial traffic in the Strait of Hormuz has been reduced by 80%. Consequently, that is 20% of the world's oil supply goes through the Strait of Hormuz. Global energy supplies are now severely constrained. So why did the United States need to topple Iran's government quickly and decisively in the first week? Because if the government isn't toppled or doesn't wave the white flag, and if the government is still able to launch missiles, in other words, if the regime and its missile arsenal is intact, then that means that indefinitely Iran can shut down the Middle East. They can shut down all the oil and they can shut down the Gulf. People can't fly in and out of these countries, which specialize in banking and tourism, things that are heavily dependent on people being able to enter and exit the airspace. And the oil is shut down, which is now affecting every country in the world. It's affecting gas prices here. It's affecting energy supplies in Japan, LNG in Europe, in China, all around the world. And so now this is transitioning into a war of attrition, where the United States is dropping lots of ordnance on Iran, hoping that we kill enough people and we destroy all their missiles, while at the same time Iran is trying to stay alive and retaliate enough in a race against time. And if the United States can collapse their regime or destroy all their weapon systems, then we have prevailed. If we don't do that in time, and Iran is able to keep replacing and keep succeeding the leadership, and if they can keep launching missiles, then that means that oil prices are going to keep going up. There's going to be a global recession. And that means the fertilizer that comes out of the Gulf is going to get choked off too. Copper, uranium, other critical minerals, tourism, investment, capital pouring into the Gulf, that's going to be shut down too. And so Iran is going to make it hurt for everybody. This is a situation that we now find ourselves in. And this was prophesied, by the way. The generals in Washington warned Trump for months that this is exactly what was going to happen. There was a report in Washington Post and Politico a week before the war started saying that the generals were not on board, that they had warned Trump, there's no way to topple the regime. It's impossible. If there was an opportunity in January because of the protests, if that was the case, that window of opportunity is now closed, and there is no way we can collapse the regime. And if we can't collapse the regime through air power and sea power, then you're going to get a war of attrition. And a war of attrition is a war that you cannot win. It's unlikely that you can kill all 200,000 IRGC from the air. Probably impossible. It's unlikely you can destroy all of Iran's missiles from the air. Once again, probably impossible. And you can't bring down the government and make them surrender. So if that's the case, then we get into this grinding war, and eventually we run out of missile interceptors. Our bombs are more costly, and we're going to run out of them. And our economy is going to start to hurt just as bad and then worse as Iran's economy. Now that brings us to where we are today. And it's interesting because the markets are spooked. Over the weekend, crude oil was trading for $120 a barrel, up from, I think, 60. So global energy prices have exploded because of the conflict. Because again, the supply is very constrained because a fifth of it is stuck in the Persian Gulf. It can't get out because Iran is bombing it. And so now the United States and our allies are starting to feel it. Japan is starting to feel it. Europe is starting to feel it. The Gulf countries are starting to feel it, and they're getting worried. They're getting worried because their oil is stuck and their tanks are filling up. Their reserves of oil are filling up. They're going to have to cut production, which is very costly. And they're worried because their critical infrastructure is being hit too. And so now the pressure is back on the United States. Now, what does Trump do? Well, you have two options. You can look for an off-ramp and try to de-escalate. What does that look like? If we retreat, if we have a truce, a ceasefire, if we stop bombing Iran, maybe they will let us have the oil go through the Strait of Hormuz and we could have economic relief. And that's critical because if we don't get that oil flowing sooner rather than later, you're going to have a global recession in a few weeks. It's going to get really bad. So option one is you try to find an off-ramp, try to find an exit and de-escalate. If we stop dropping bombs on Iran, and I don't know how you walk that one back, but let's say you do, and then you count on Iran stopping their closure of the Strait of Hormuz, then you can open that back up and you're in good shape. The only other option is that you go in the other direction. Rather than looking for an exit, you escalate. You hit them somehow even harder. And what would be the end game there? Well, if you topple the government, then there is no command and control to order the closure of the strait. You get a regime change, you get a change in policy, you open up the strait. Or two, you send in boots on the ground and you send in some limited tactical force to disable Iran's missile launchers or to attack the nodes of government or something like this in a bid to try to prevent them from launching the missiles. Maybe you organize on the ground, you get the Kurds, you get an anti-government force, and you try to overthrow the government. But these are really the two lanes here. Is the war going to keep going on and on? Will it keep grinding on and we keep killing their leadership and we keep bombing them? And it's more pain and misery for them and acutely for their leadership until they wave that white flag? Or are we going to back away in what would be a strategic defeat for the United States and a victory for Iran in the hopes that they stop bombing the strait? Those are the two options. Now, what was Trump's plan here exactly? So Trump goes into the conflict, and we sort of at this point understand what the idea was, which is that Netanyahu was going to bomb Iran anyway, so they say, so we had to join them. Because if we didn't, then Iran would retaliate and they would hit us harder than they would otherwise be able to be if we and Israel struck them jointly first. So we hit Iran hoping that if we just hit them hard enough, everyone is telling us it's impossible, everyone is telling us it's impractical, but if we hit them hard enough, we're going to knock them off. And with a hope and a prayer, that'll be the end of it, and then we win. And then it's just like Venezuela, and no harm, no foul. It's a big victory. Everything's great. Okay, well, what was plan B exactly? What's plan B? Everyone's telling Trump this isn't going to work. Everyone's telling him it's impossible. It's not going to go the way you think. So what's the backup plan? Let's say your gamble doesn't pay off. Then what do we do? Well, we're finding out that they have no idea. They don't even know. They didn't prepare for this because now they're not even giving us a clear answer. Okay, we tried it. It didn't work. Now there's some real problems here. There is a global recession on the horizon, and it's coming closer every single day. Oil prices are exploding. We're running out of interceptors. So are the Gulf countries. If we run out of interceptors, then Iran is just going to keep throwing drones at us, keep throwing missiles at us. It never ends. What are the other options? Escalate? How's that even going to work? How do you even bomb them harder? Just keep slaughtering in the hopes that eventually someone will surrender? Seems to be having the reverse effect. Didn't plan for that contingency. You can't bomb all the missile launch platforms. I don't even think that's possible. So the question is, now what? Trump doesn't even know. And today, this is the report from the New York Times. He said simultaneously at one press conference that the war is over. It's going to be over soon. We completed the mission. And it sounds like he's getting ready to retreat and withdraw. Then later in the day, he said, actually, we're going to hit them harder than ever, and the war is far from over, and we're going to keep killing the leadership. We're not happy with the successor to the Ayatollah. This is from the New York Times. It says, quote, after a day of conflicting signals about when the war against Iran might end, President Trump struck a belligerent tone Monday evening, warning of even more aggressive action if Iranian leaders tried to cut off the world's energy supply. Mr. Trump said, quote, we will hit them so hard that it will not be possible for them or anybody else helping them to ever recover that section of the world. Earlier in the day, the president suggested that the U.S.-Israeli war could be near an end. He said the war is very complete, pretty much. He said we're very far ahead of schedule. Those comments appeared to ease market fears of a prolonged war. Oil prices dropped and stocks rose, but after markets closed for the day, Mr. Trump switched gears. He said, we have won in many ways, but not enough. We go forward more determined than ever to achieve ultimate victory that will end this long-running danger once and for all. Asked later if the war with Iran will be over this week, Trump said no, but soon, very soon. The international benchmark oil price, priced below $70 last month, briefly jumped to almost $120 late Sunday night, then fell after the G7 said they were considering intervening to bring prices down. It then fell again after Mr. Trump's remarks to CBS, ending the day below $90. Okay, so we are in the middle of a real problem here. We went into this hoping to achieve a quick victory, just like Venezuela. Chop the head off the snake, someone else comes in, negotiates a quick peace, and it's over. But that is not happening. It's not happening anytime soon. Trump assassinated the leader, assassinated half the leadership, destroyed all their weapons, and they haven't surrendered and they keep going. And now global oil prices are spiking. This is going to cause a lot of inflation, and it is going to squeeze every major world economy, and it will be a contagion. And at the same time, the situation, again, it gets more precarious because our ability to even intercept those missiles is diminishing all the time. We have about a 15 to 20% interception rate. For every drone and missile that goes up, we're launching 5, and we're running out every single day. It's debated how many we have. Some sources debate the timeline here, but we don't have enough for a protracted conflict. So what's the plan? Well, again, it's either you back off or you go further in. We don't even know. Trump says at once we need an unconditional surrender, which will never happen. We need an unconditional surrender, total victory, once and for all. On one hand, this is the language he's using. Do you know what it takes to get an unconditional surrender? You have to nuke them. They will never surrender without preconditions. Why would they? Do you know what an unconditional surrender means? It means a surrender with no conditions. It means complete supplication, complete deference. It means they give up their country as a colony to the United States. That's what a surrender with no conditions means. It means you could do whatever you want to us. Do you know when countries have unconditionally surrendered? World War II. When we invaded Germany with the Soviet Union, and when we nuked Japan. So that's off the table. They're never going to unconditionally surrender. But this is the language they're using. Total victory, unconditional surrender, once and for all. And that would tend to imply we're not going to leave the regime intact. We're not going to walk away with a deal. We're not going to retreat halfway through. That sounds like we're going to fight it through to the end, to the last Iranian. But on the other hand, he's telling everybody, well, we basically won. We blow up all their stuff. Their navy is sunk. Their regime is reeling. So we won and it's over now. Did he just say that so that oil prices would go down? That's what it sounds like. Because he said that earlier in the day. Early in the day, he says the war's over. Then the market's closed. And then he goes on TV later and says, actually, we want an unconditional surrender. We want to once and for all finish the job. And if that is the case, well, then again, how are you going to do that? What's the big idea? If you can't get the leadership to surrender, what are you going to do? Keep killing them? You know there are 200,000 members of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. Are you going to bomb 200,000 of them? Then what? They have thousands of missiles. According to the New York Times, they still have half their stockpile of missiles. How are you going to destroy the rest of them? 3,000 bombs dropped in 10 days. You got about half. Are we going to go for another 10 days? Do we have another 3,000 bombs in us? Do we know where the other missiles are? Then what? Are we going to cripple their ability to make new ones or new drones? What do you do when we run out of interceptors? We are up a creek without a paddle. Trump cannot escalate because there's no popular support for it. There's no plan. I don't even know that we have the personnel to carry out an invasion of Iran. There's no ground force, not combined with the Kurds or anybody else. I just don't see how that happens. We also can't de-escalate, can't retreat. If the Trump administration walks away without toppling the regime, then that's a strategic victory for Iran. Forget about a mass protest. That's over. You've permanently rallied the people to the side of the government. And what does the government immediately start to do? They start building hundreds of drones and missiles all over again. Maybe they don't even stop. Maybe they keep the Strait of Hormuz closed because they are now in a strategic war with the United States and Israel. We've demonstrated that every negotiation with Iran is a farce. We negotiated with them last year, then we let Israel sneak attack them. We negotiated with Iran this year, then we did a sneak attack against them. So you can't make a deal. So what exactly is going to happen here? They're not even telling us. They're not even being transparent. And it seems like they have no plan. The administration doesn't even know what's going on. Today, Pete Hegseth says we're in a war with Iran. J.D. Vance says we're in a conflict. Carolyn Levitt says it's an operation. What is it? No one knows. Last week, the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, said, well, Israel was going to attack anyway, so we joined them. They forced our hand. Then an hour later, Trump goes on TV and says, no, we forced their hand. We were going to attack. We had to get Israel in on it. Then U.S. intelligence says that a Tomahawk missile blew up a school full of children in Iran. Then Trump on Air Force One contradicts his own military and says, actually, that was an Iranian projectile that fell. Totally false, total lie. Then in the same day, you've got Trump, we're in, but also we're out. We finished, but we're not even close to being done. I think we're ready. The war's almost over. We completed our objectives, but also we're going to wipe them off the map, and we want an unconditional surrender. And you want to know the cruel irony? I remember before the war started, how many people said it wasn't going to be like Iraq? Because those people should be like publicly executed after receiving the death penalty from a court of law, from a jury of their peers through the legal process. Because I seem to recall that 2 weeks ago, all the Trump shills were telling us, well, hey, just because Bush and Obama couldn't prosecute a war doesn't mean that we can't. People said, be careful not to overlearn the lessons of Iraq. Don't overlearn that lesson. We can fight a war in Iran. Just because Bush messed it up doesn't mean that we will. They said not everything is Iraq. You have Iraq disease. Look at what we did last year. We got in, we got out, and it was all great. Remember? And, theoretically, I suppose that's true in a sense. Is every engagement, is every conflict Iraq? No. But this one is. This one is exactly like that. And it becomes more like it every single day. No exit strategy. No clearly defined objectives. Weapons of mass destruction that don't exist. A plan to topple the government and no plan for what happens in the aftermath. It's literally the exact same as Iraq. They made us believe that this administration was, because of its competence, because of the core ideology of Trump, that we were in no danger of a never-ending conflict with mission creep that we would get stuck in, right? You break it, you buy it, you cause a lot of problems, then you're trapped forever. They said it won't be like that this time. Well, we're 10 days in. Are you winning? What's the plan? What's the big idea? Did we get in and get out? How's that Iranian regime doing? How's the Strait of Hormuz? Still closed? And the best part is we knew all of this would happen. We knew that. We knew that Iran would retaliate with missiles. We knew they would close the Strait of Hormuz. We know the economics of it. We know the geography, the topography. We know everything about it. And they just simply did not prepare. What's the plan B? What's the exit strategy? What's the plan now? Are we going to go to April? Is Trump going to bluff his way into April, trying to convince the Iranians he's serious? How many more days? And what do you do if they don't surrender? You're just going to back down and then what? Pick it up 6 months later? You're going to have to. If we back down right now, you're never going to make a deal with the Iranians after this. You just assassinated their head of state. Now you're going to make a nuclear deal or any kind of deal? No, now you got to finish the job, whether it's tomorrow, next week, next month, a year from now. We're in. We're in. And I now worry that the next move is they're going to try to manufacture a pretext for an escalation. And you all know what I'm talking about. Maybe that's a false flag. And I hate to say that, but I would be remiss if I didn't. How can you get everybody not only on board, but enthusiastically on board with a rapid escalation in Iran? Maybe in Iran. How about the sleeper cell activation?
Well, this is the golden question, you know, and it's something that I've thought about for quite some time. Honestly, my answer has come to I am worried.
Iranian sleeper cell kills thousands of people. How about all that unaccounted for uranium in Iran, which they're talking about? How about the sleeper cell activation code that they're talking about? All these, the shooter in Austin, the Australian flight, this situation in New York City. That's going to be the next shoe to drop. An Iranian sleeper cell is going to kill a bunch of people, and then we have to go to war. Now, I don't know that with certainty, but I would never rule it out. Closest ally is not going to let us walk away from this one. You think closest ally is going to let that window of opportunity close? Oh, well, we tried it. We bombed Iran's nuclear program, then we bombed their country 3,000 times. We killed the supreme leader. Well, we gave it a shot. We did our best. Now it's over forever. Is that characteristic of them? They're going to walk away now? They're going to use what little leverage they have over the White House, what little leverage they have, and fail against the interest of Wall Street or something? I don't think so. So we have options, none of them good. Either we walk away and it's a strategic defeat and we come back eventually, or we escalate now in the hopes that we can solve it. And if we escalate, there's no guarantee it will even work. It may just draw us further into the conflict with boots on the ground, or a nuclear weapon might be deployed. And then maybe in the middle, you have some kind of action that would justify an escalation because the war is so unpopular. And I wouldn't say that's likely, but I also wouldn't rule it out completely. And that is the grim politics of a U.S.-Israel war in Iran for regime change. We knew it was going to be like this. And I tried to warn you. We knew it would go this way. We knew Trump would bring us here. We knew it wouldn't work. We knew who would be responsible. And yet here we are, all the same, doing it all over again. And there are exactly zero good options for any of us. So it's pretty tough out there. But that's your update. We're going to move on. We're going to take a look at our super chats. We'll see what you guys have to say about all this. That's all I have to say about it. And we'll talk a little bit more about the war, I assume, tomorrow. I just don't know how that's even possible. How do you sleepwalk us into another endless war in the Middle East and you're Donald Trump? The bar is on the floor. It's incredible. I thought I had complaints before. He never says white people. He keeps talking about the embassy and black unemployment. That's not enough deportations. He brought us into a regime change war in Iran. The bar is on the floor. You elect Trump, at the minimum, to not do this. That's the only reason you do this. You can say Trump sucks at everything else. We voted for him because he'll keep us out of a war with Iran, because that's what the Jews want from us. And people still defend him. Oh, you just don't get it. You're just not serious. Look, it'll be over before you know it. Okay, man. And then they tell you, you're not MAGA. War with Iran always was. Okay. It's shocking, but we're going to move on. We're going to take a look at our super chats. We'll see what you guys have to say about all this. Scary times. I don't know about you, but it's literally terrifying. It actually does feel like the end of the world this time, doesn't it? All right. Let's take a look. Let me get set up. We'll see what we got here. Okay. Well, even if we did an ad, we just put it at the end or something. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not bad in and of itself, but it's bad because the Jews run it now. We sort of already have it in a way. Don't you feel silly? Well, you should. You should. Serve you right. You don't know what I mean by that? Thanks a lot, but you broke character. Now I have no respect for you. Muncie area, Swain. You're doing a great show, and you got a great heart, and we're all rooting for you.
Sure.
Yeah, so you broke character. You
Shabab, they're not here, huh? What'd they do?
We went to Royal Road.
Whose car were you in?
My car.
Whose Nissan was that?
Where?
Outside parked.
When?
Like 10 minutes ago.
There's no Nissan parked us.
It was a Nissan with tinted windows.
No Nissan.
Where's Mama?
She's outside.
Is that why?
It's a Lexus.
Who was in there?
Khala.
Really? Which Khala?
Haider Hamoudi. Noor.
So I was walking outside the tinted outside. I was just roaming and I was like, if this car ignores me, then it's probably someone else.
The princess saw the car. Who is this? And then I was like, I saw ES. I thought, I'm like, oh, is this Haider's Lexus? I'm like tripping. Like, this looks like Haider's Lexus. I'm like, am I being retarded?
Then you saw Khala?
And then like I walk and I see the car's tinted. I'm like, oh, it's definitely not Haider's, not tinted. And then like I go to like look at them to see who it is, just to like see if they open the window. Who's this? And then Mama rolled down.
What'd you do?
What do you want to do?
They left?
Who?
Them.
Shabab?
Yeah.
They left, yeah. I mean, I left before them, but
Why
they probably
did
left right after.
They didn't want to jokes?
Do I have to sleep?
At the masjid?
They
No.
might look at it.
They have to sleep?
No.
Was VA there?
But yeah, they left. They're leaving at 5 a.m.
Jesus.
It's their place at 5 a.m.
Dude, that steak felt so weird to eat, man. Like, my stomach just feels weird.
I had a burger.
Was it good?
It's a Mira burger. I love it.
Dude, I need to go back on my diet. I fell off.
Tell me it's a...
Here.
No, put it in the freezer.
American soldiers.
Yes. No. There we go. Now we're talking. Thank you. Yes, it does. I'm so tired.
All this money for the campaign, right? FCA 28 might be better than anyone thinks. Full hands emoji, clapping hands emoji.
Yeah, well, he apologized, so maybe if he unapologizes, I don't know. That wasn't cool. You know, I don't support that.
Chocolate cheese $20. Double to the next person theory. Leave fake mail alone and just twice as hard.
Okay, come on. No, let's just not rape
Lucian
anybody.
adds $25. Did you hear Parker's truck? Prayers for my buddy's wife is expecting another white Catholic royal baby. He's a wank.
Congrats. Lucian
adds $25. Second child, my wife also pregnant. The Protestant 3 of my kids are adopted half black. My girls look like we're all America first.
Okay, very good. Very funny.
Every day I laugh masterfully time to do something else. 2 beers. Rob will only buy. Cause you be in jail.
Because you'd be in jail. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was good, right? You know, that was off the dome. That was off the dome. What could possibly be funny about that? Why? Too soon? Boom. I was dialed in. I don't know what happened, but I was dialed the fuck in. I prepared for that interview a lot. I just, I psyched myself up like WWE, and I was dialed in. I was in rare form, because normally I'm not that dialed in. Normally I just kind of like saunter onto the interview. I'm just kind of like, okay, this will be okay. But that interview, I knew he was going to be really coming for me. So I locked in, and I went in there like, this is going to be a knife fight. We're going 9 rounds, you know, we're going all the way here. So I had to really dial it in. I had to get in kill mode. Kill everything in sight. Because like I said, normally I'm a pretty sweet guy. I'm pretty, you know me, this is why I always get betrayed, stabbed in the back, abandoned, ambushed. It's because I'm actually a really nice guy, you fucking bitch. I'm actually a really sweet person once you get to know me. But this one I was like, I have to really dial in and be a killer here. I gotta walk in, guns blazing.
On my extra $50. Hey Nick, been watching since 2024. Now you inspired me way higher. I applied to transfer and I get into 2 other top schools. Before you, I wasn't even going to college. Thank you nonetheless. Wow. Handheld and shareables to me.
Love it. Good for you, man. Good for you. I hope you get it. I hope you're able to transfer into an Ivy. That's what we need. Don't listen to when Charlie Kirk says, don't go to college. That's a ripoff. It's like, okay, go to college. You know, where are you? Are you fighting campus battle at a fucking welding plant or whatever? Not knocking welders, but it's like Charlie Kirk, the guy that founded a college campus organization, goes to college campus and says, hey, all of you people that I value enough to be here, you shouldn't exist. It's like, really? So why aren't you at the International Trade Convention? Why aren't you at the plumber convention or something? You're doing a college tour. So yeah, go to college. The Jews go to college. You should go to college.
Nick, $1 $3 1 18 yes Friday show. To wake up the members of my nation commission. It's your time to be. There's no chance unless you take one. Yeah. Yeah, we watch a little like Harley. We watch a little like Harley. Nothing wrong with that. It's my comfort show. You know when you need to turn on a TV show and you just need it to feel comfortable? You know what I mean? Sometimes you just want something on the TV that just makes you feel like you don't want to commit suicide all the time. Can anyone relate to that? You know what I'm talking about? Because you put on these other shows and it's so intense or dramatic or weird, and it's like I'm already like having issues. I don't need to watch other people have issues reminding me of my issues. Sometimes you just need to put something on TV that's just stupid and frivolous and comfortable. It's like comfort food. You know, it's like eating your mom's recipe or something. And for me, that's like Harley. Because that's what I grew up watching. I know people are going to say that's gay. I think it's a good show. But I watched it when I was a kid. So that was, Drake and Josh, iCarly, that's my childhood. So, lately that's the new meta. Lately, shit's getting a little too real, okay? Getting a little too famous. Okay, I'm getting a little too famous. People are trying to kill me all the time. The apocalypse is upon us. The Antichrist approaches. I don't think I can watch another episode of Black Rabbit. I think we need to tune into iCarly. It's getting a little too real out there. So it's been kind of on the brain lately. I don't know. It's one of those shows, you just put it on. It's so chill. Miranda Cosgrove, W's in the chat. Is that creepy now that I'm older? She's older too, so there's nothing wrong with that. I'm telling you. What do you do? I pray for you often. No success, no emotions though. Continue to go out for a season to become a player. Replacing my bills with business. God's still alive even during war. Let's keep our faith up.
Gotta tune me out. This is about staying informed, ass. Thanks, I guess. I appreciate it. Good luck to you. Keep watching the show, though.
10 days. Austin Jew, Muslim. Southwest Flight Red, Muslim. NYC terrorist, Muslim. Multiculturalism does not work during the national conflict. Migrants are often more loyal to their religion and home country than to America. Do I mean like while not being complicit? They're our enemies enemy. God bless. That's crazy. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean. Migrants are more loyal. Migrants. We're at war with Iran, dumbass. And Jews brought... Let me say this. If a single person is killed in a terrorist attack, that is the fault of Donald Trump in Israel. Period. Full stop. I don't even blame the terrorist as much. You know who's responsible for blood being shed if there's terrorism? Number 1, Donald Trump. Number 2, Israel. Number 3, the terrorist. And you want to know why? It's Donald Trump's job to put America first. And he knew bringing us to war would mean this. He knew that. And he keeps telling us. He says, it's a war. People die in a war. It's going to happen. So he signed those people's death warrants. The second that we started dropping bombs, he sealed the fate of Americans that will die in terror attacks. And he was okay with that. Never forget that. You're talking about Muslim migrants. Okay, they're fucking towelheads. What is the American president's obligation to his own people? The American president, who ran on America first, Americans first, signed the death warrant of every person who is or will be killed overseas or in a terrorist attack because he knew this was inevitable. He knew there'd be collateral damage. He knew there'd be civilian casualties. And he did it anyway for Israel. And Israel knew it too. And they dragged us into the conflict. For them, it's an acceptable sacrifice. They're probably happy about it. And then you get the Muslims that are just unwitting pawns. They are just the instrument, as always. As always. The blacks, Muslims, the Indians, they're the instrument in this equation. They probably have the least agency out of all of them. So no, focus up. You talk about immigration doesn't work in an international conflict. Hey, who created the international conflict? Which country? Whose money? Which billionaires? Yeah, mass migration doesn't work. You know what doesn't work? Jewish people being billionaires and making us fight their fucking wars. $100. Keep the HC rate.
True. Thank you for the big super chat. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Was right, $20. Jimmy said you can come on and explain yourself. How outrageous. Also, what's with Professor Jeff attacking you every day?
Who's Jimmy? I don't know what Jimmy is. Is Jimmy another person? Oh, Jimmy Dore? Oh, now he wants me to come on. I don't know. You're already operating in bad faith. I don't think so. You canceled on me the day of because you said you need to do more research. Then you do a show. You get all your information wrong. So what happened to the research? Why don't you get your act together? Why don't you correct your own show? Do your research. Do your research. You correct the record. You're a journalist or are you a comedian? Which is it? You have an obligation. You have responsibility. Why don't you correct the record? And then I'll come on the show. You got it wrong. You lied about me. You blew me off. Then you talked trash and it wasn't even true. You correct the record. He texted me, what did I get wrong? Isn't that your job? Isn't that part of the research you're doing? That drives me crazy. Yeah, it's my. So I got to help you out, right?
Ryan Morales, $20. Please help.
Sorry.
Are not pay Kurt Roy is only saying because something I realized on James. Now he knows where my mom works. Please, if you can ask him to stand down, he'll listen to you.
Okay, I don't.
Christian Boy, $20. Being a Roy in Australia is very difficult. These people know nothing about you. It's insane. Also, you look very handsome with a beard.
Think so. People were saying that. I didn't like it. I thought it wasn't full enough and it was itchy. You couldn't see it on camera very well. People have said that though. People love the beard. People love the beard, but I don't know. I had to get rid of it. I like looking young. I already look too old as it is. I wake up, I look in the mirror, and I'm like, wow. So you just keep looking older until you're completely unfuckable and then you die. So I was like, I'm just gonna shave. Don't you find that? I know some of you guys are younger, but let me tell you what happens. You wake up every day in your like mid to late 20s and you see yourself getting old in real time, and you realize one day I'm gonna wake up and be completely unfuckable and disgusting, and then you'll be sexless until you die. So you got that to look forward to. So I said, I need a little more youth. I need a little more youth in my life. What age do you think? What age is pathetic? What age do you think I passed for? I'm still cute. I'm still young. I'm still a young man. I'm still a whippersnapper. Isn't that so true though? You just wake up and it's like your skin is sagging. You have, your eyes are dark. You got a few gray hairs, and you're like, wow. So this is it. Wow. So we're really all gonna die, aren't we? People are saying 22. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah. I don't know. I'm no beard for me.
$20. 1 Peter 5 pass all your anxiety on him because he cares for you.
Love that. So true.
PRNG call $15 $20. Order an AF pin. Excited to where I'm at. Here's some more money for you, my boy. Wait.
All right. Sweet.
34 problems. $25. Thanks for everything, man.
Thank you.
Paul $30. Have you ever heard Steven Crowder? Would you ever do a show with him? You give me hope for the youth. Prayers.
Okay, that's
Elder $30.
well
Is
done.
it possible to not be a goy if you just lie about being Jew?
Is it possible to not be a goy if you just lie about being Jewish? What does that mean? If you say you're Jewish, I don't know what your question is.
$25. I can't believe I used to be your supporter. Your movement is now a joke. I'm gonna call you on Happy Friday.
Bye-bye. That's got to be a false flag because that's Asuka Groiper, who is loyal. Did Sneeko write that one? Nice try, Sneeko. That's Sneeko's #1 op. Sneeko used to always be like, Asuka Groiper hates me. I think they're friends now. Nice try. You're trying to turn me against my #1 and my #1
That
flippers.
$19 $20. One for Nick. Thanks to you and your strong anti-porn /2 inch stand side and dinner BS. I used to think it was impossible since I thought my addiction was too strong, but I'm also clean. I've been more happier connected to the Lord after I hit the initiative to quit entirely.
Great. 3 super chats about gooning and pornography. Awesome. Just what everybody
John
wanted.
Casey sent $20. Love you, brother. Check out the campaign.
Thanks, I will. I'm going to skip the other 2, actually. I don't need to read. I'm just reading through these. I'm like, look, if you're one of these like zealous Catholic converts that is like addicted to pornography, here's a little piece of advice. Don't go and post about it on Twitter. Just saying. Like, we don't all need to hear about that. We don't all need to imagine that in our mind's eye. Thanks. Thank you very much. What is it about Catholic converts and needing to go on Twitter and say that? I don't know what that is. Too much information. Save it for confession. I'm glad that happened to you. Congratulations. Save it for confession. Those are trained professionals. We're good. We don't want to hear about it. But I appreciate it. Good for you. It's a real struggle that people have. It's a real phenomenon. It's a huge problem. Nobody talks about it because it's uncomfortable, but it is uncomfortable. So we'll leave it at 1. We'll leave it at 1. You get 1 super chat about your gooning situation, and I think we're good.
Hey,
After that,
$20. You seen this ride Charlie shit? When does she stop?
I haven't been keeping up with it. Honestly, I missed it. I've been busy, so I haven't seen it. So whatever. It's a pity that both sides can't lose.
Since Tucker Carlson got his 80 pounds, just only America first 80 pounds.
It's so funny. What a coincidence. We're rolling it out. It's so weird. The day that Tucker's shipment was stolen, some super chatter donated a truckload of Zyn that was white labeled. Very funny. Haha.
General
Very
Jack
good.
$69 Why was he not be able to go 30 minutes on Twitter without having a road meltdown? Interesting how you live free and have supposed dark and serious high
Right?
risk.
Thank you for the big super chat. Yeah, Nick Land, total aura loss. I barely even knew anything about him. He comes onto Twitter for like 10 minutes and then just becomes a Groiper hating psycho. Groiper derangement syndrome. Dude, fuck Nick Land. Yeah, the guy is not even American, so I don't even care what his opinion is. He's a philo-Semite and he's not American. And yeah, patronage network. I'll say that much. He's part of the network.
Appreciate him while delivering the truth letter. My default response to my GF talking shit these days is Donald Trump shit. Yeah. Much love for Canada.
Little vocal stem. Hit her with the vocal stem. Thanks. That's super cute. I love when people tell me about the cute stuff they do with their girlfriend. Really interesting and great content. Thanks a lot. Dude, I saw TikTok. Let me just pause the show here. I saw TikTok today. Like, this is what we're up against, you guys. You got to hear me and listen good. I saw TikTok today, or you know what? It might have been a tweet. I don't know if it was a TikTok or a tweet, but there was this girl, and she's on TikTok, and she's in her car, and she says something like, I'm a 25-year-old virgin. That's the lead. She goes, I'm a 25-year-old virgin, and why can't I find a man? She goes, every man is either too weak, too gay, too smelly, or too lusty. She goes, there are no good men. Where are all the good men? And I go, wait a second. Is this bitch serious? She goes, men are too weak, but they're also too smelly. She goes, men are all too gay, or they're too lusty. 25 years old. You go, time out. So guys are not attracted to you enough, but also they want to fuck you still. So that's both of those are the problem. I want a real macho man, she says, but doesn't want to have sex with me, but also isn't too gay. It's like, so, okay, so which is it then? Do you want him to want to have sex with you or not? Make up your mind. She goes, well, he can't be too weak, but not too smelly. Okay, so he's got to be a disgusting beast. You want a big, disgusting beast, big, muscular, tall guy, but not like a pussy. Not a pussy, but not too gnarly. Can't be a weakling, can't be overly conscientious, can't be a pussy, but also can't be like a gnarly, disgusting beast. So you're 25, by the way, past your prime, and you go, well, I want a guy that's rich, tall, big, not too weak, but not too gnarly, doesn't want to have sex with me, but not gay. So what is it? You want a guy that's going to what? Listen to you yap? And naturally, that's her TikTok. I go to her TikTok profile, and the profile is, I'm just a girl that loves to yap, I love Diet Coke, and I like to wear too much bronzer. And this is where you need to tune women out. What women say, you cannot listen to them. They're poisoning the well. Don't listen to them. They only tell lies, and they're all whores. Your girl is going. She's going, and she lies. She only tells lies. If she breathes, she's a thought. And this girl, she's sitting in her car, totally self-absorbed narcissist, and I'm sure she's waiting for Prince Charming, who's going to be really interested in her yapping. You ever notice that all these girls, all they do is give their opinions and talk about nonsense, but they all think that this is like This is the pinnacle of civilization. They think they're so quirky. Oh, I love to yap. Wow, I've never met anyone like you. You're a girl that's filled with inane bullshit. You're so unique. Emily, stop. You're so crazy. You're a girl that loves to yap and give her opinion and have some stupid fucking bullshit to say, like I love Diet Coke. I've never met anyone like you. You're so beautiful. I don't even want to fuck your pussy. You're so interesting. I love your personality. I'm so enamored with your yapping that I forgot that I'm a nasty, disgusting beast and I want to have sex with you. Because that's what an amazing girl you are. Are these fucking bitches serious? It's like, dude, I almost wish she's filming the TikTok in the car because I'm just like gonna. You ever see like Final Destination when they drive into the back of a truck and it just like impales everybody? That's a joke, obviously. I would never do that, but seriously, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What dimension? But this is what we have enabled. This is what we as a society, we have enabled this behavior. And you get this frumpy mid. She's got like her head is shaped like a squash. Her head is shaped like a pear. She's got a pumpkin head, caked with makeup. She's not even that hot. And you're 25. She goes, I'm a virgin. Oh, really? What kind of virgin are we talking about? What does that mean? You're a 25-year-old virgin? What do you mean by that? What does that mean to you? You know, and then she's gonna film her insipid TikTok videos. I like to yap, and I love Diet Coke, and I love bronzer, and blah blah blah. And I want a big man. I don't want to date a pussy, but I also want to date a disgusting, smelly jock. And you know, and I don't want a gay guy's not attracted to me. But ew, I don't want him to want to fuck me. I don't want him to be too lusty. I'm a Christian after. It's like, okay, so you want a problem? Like, is that what you want? You want a problem? What are you looking for? Anyway, so I saw that. Listen, maybe right message, wrong messenger. Yeah, I know, but it's true. I saw that. I'm like, this is crazy, but this is how all women think. This is how all women think. In its degrees, there's levels to this, but that's how they all think, especially now. It's crazy. They're all in their late 20s, and it's like, okay, get with the program, you know? So anyway, I saw that. I was like, I literally couldn't believe. It's like, I couldn't have written it better myself. I literally could not have scripted that. It was so, I love that matrix of qualifications. She goes, he can't be too gay, but he also can't be too lusty. Too lusty? What does that even mean? That's crazy. So, what was the question again? Yeah, you're talking about your GF. Yeah, I'm sure she's so funny. She sounds hilarious. Sounds super cool.
Because we need more refugees in the US, it's kind of insane. So we can't go to war anymore. If you kill our enemies, they win. Just don't take them in.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You go to war when you need to. Here's the point. We have Muslims in the country because we did these things. Now we're doing these things again, and people go, well, what about all the Muslims in our country? Well, a good way to stop it. Unfortunately, it just never works that way. You go, well, what if we went to war and didn't take in the refugees? Yeah, and I don't know, what if a bomb fell on your head right now? Yeah, it's never gonna happen.
You spent $100. Hi, Nick, you're beautiful. I wish I could have days with you, but sadly I'm around Latina, hence the base emoji.
Yeah, well, that's too bad. Thanks for the big super chat. Anyway, that's crazy, pick me. You're so beautiful, I wish I could have your kids, but I'm just a brown Latina. Come on now, listen. Sound like a nice person, but white children is the point. We forgot that this was the point. White babies.
James Rodrigo is dog whistling white separatism while 30 black women have more abortions. I'm voting them in November. Also, if Trump uses nuke, what are the odds during Passover?
I don't know.
Florida spent $25. Hey, man, it isn't about racism, about heritage, lineage, ancestral continuity, man.
Yeah, man, heritage American, man. I'm a heritage American. I love when you ask them, what is a heritage American? Like free black slaves? Oh, heritage? You mean like all those black people that are descended from slaves, like them? Well, and then they go, well, oh, you mean like all those Chinese people that built the railroads and yeah.
$20. Hey,
just say white.
Japan accidentally got new massage from Asian. Should I kill self for race mixing, or is that go appeal?
Bro.
Support Mark Levin sent $50. Everyone remember Great Day and Glory and thanks for Christ.
So true.
0 1 cent $20. Gen X right here. Barnes and Bears are starting to sound like you now. They pretty much said Nick Fuentes right out Israel on their podcast today. People fund it.
Well. Hey, remember when Robert Barnes and I debated and he told me that Iran was Islamo-Nazis? Islamo-fascists? Remember that? So yeah, I don't know. That guy still has a problem with me, and I think so does Barris as well. I don't know what Barris' problem is, but they both have it. They both have it out for me, and I was right, and they were wrong.
Roy Swamp said $100. Up your right. Someone go tell Lindsey Graham to start his bar.
Holy LARP. First of all, disavow. Second of all, holy LARP. Yeah, this is like Reddit history. Don't invade Russia in the winter. Someone tell Lindsey Graham to start his car. Up the RA. Shut the fuck up. R/history.
Foundation requires $20. He's about to build a home or foundation with craftsman. Same goes on another Richard. We also positive guy.
Okay, here we go.
Proficient $20. Or blue way because my cat is in mind. God today knows backstrap is black now and Roy is on. Frown.
Okay.
Shavers $20. You've heard. Those who can do, teach. But I tell you, those who can teach front propaganda seminars for the CCP and back with shitty PowerPoints. A smart board and 2 students.
Yeah.
JC
That's
$20.
psychotic.
Sensationalism, Protestantism, Judaism, Christianity, Father James Mosley, traditional priest, lost his child for discussing the Holocaust narrative, and he said good things about you online.
Maudsley is excellent. He's excellent. And I feel bad because he's defending me all the time, but he's always like, he's not perfect. And I'm like, I know I let you down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I let you down, but he's excellent. Love Father Maudsley. He's a great guy. And very courageous and spot on. Great content. That's a shame he lost his YouTube channel because he was really good.
$20. Nick, I'm converting to Catholicism. Thank you, God. Fold hands emoji. Please pray for my discernment.
God bless. Thank you very much.
$50. Here's some shekels to help pay for video transferring your brain into a robot.
Thank you.
Lake James
Yeah,
$5 while we're calling out Born Inside Uber Soy is a verse if you want. Don't trust anyone his. Flattery.
Really? Well, flattery is the way for me. You know, that's I'm easy like that.
$20. Prayer from Minnesota. Thank you for what you do.
Thanks.
$20. You had an interview with him a couple of times. He said that sub-Saharan African written language. Ethiopian had written language that goes back for 2,000 years.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
$20. Just never
We're talking a typical black person doesn't even know what they're talking about. We're talking about the interior of Africa. We're not talking about Ethiopia, which is an ancient civilization and had cultural and technological exchange with the Fertile Crescent in Europe. We're not talking about Ethiopia, just like we're not talking about Egypt. We're talking about the interior of Africa, which was not even explored until the late 19th century, which if you watch the show, I said that. But you're a stupid idiot that's coping about your race, so you gotta make excuses. Well, but what about Ethiopia? Okay, bro. What about the rest of it?
Really great guy. Took a picture with Holding Davis flag and he signed it.
He's a phenomenon. Period. Full stop. I hate when people say full stop, but he is a phenomenon. That Denny's was packed. It's unbelievable. He is excellent. And I wasn't so sure about him off the rip. You know, there's some questions about his conversion and everything, let's say. But now I think he's a phenom, and I'm rooting for him. I think he's incredible.
$50. Not sure which is more than the Trust for this war. Or kind of theory, Charlie Kirk Steph.
Yeah, nice one.
$100. Dear Nick, you are God's champion. Prayers to you and your family.
I'm trying to be. Thank you for the big super chat. I appreciate it. That's the goal.
Nick J. the most dedicated man in the world. Millennial combat best of the youngsters of the movement. Because we know this 20 years ago. Thank you for leading the charge. Our captain, no captain.
Hey, thank you very much, man. Appreciate you.
$25. Have you seen William's video on about Jews? Very interesting. What are your thoughts? Thanks.
I did not. I haven't seen Beryllium's video, but I'll check that out.
I'm just sending this information here to the nerve say. We. This times 98 cents, $20. Kill Heidi, nothing new. Big DHX homeboy, the little boy in that good. 2-2.
Holy
Sit fast.
shit, what the hell is that?
United, Roper Alliance.
Amazing.
$7 $20. Last week, I reported my former employer for the DHS corporate whistleblower program. Hopefully, I make some money or at least get some people out of the country.
Nice job.
$20,
Hopefully.
no one cares about random except the predictions. You recommend to use tactics and get mad because we want to info.
Okay.
The only thing we really care about is bullshit in the US.
Okay.
I love it. $20. Love the show by Seattle Hands. Pretty agreement on the end of bus stops. Love the show. This times 98 cents, $20. One mention. There's a fella, Tyler Wood, was on the Moonshiner Show. He has a podcast now pushing great gospel and is aligned. Well aligned. Protestant. Wonderful. Have a good night.
Oh, it's right in my alley.
Jesus for $7. Sex, owns, Chang, mate, Blumenthal. Ruben, see a difference between Zionism and Judaism. Correct me, but you seem to believe fundamentally all Jews are Zionists. Are you open to entertaining theological disputes within Judaism, or do you believe Zionism and Bolshevism are two sides of the
We've
same
been over
coin?
this a million times, and you know the answer. You just don't like it.
JT Volunteer says $20. Hey, Nick, love the show. I really agree with your take on the situation in Iran. Would you take back shots from Seago? Grover said $20. Any
Right.
politicians you like? Republicans seem to be doing the libertarian thing and all Dems have pockets full of
The only thing about
$20. Nukes Pure Zyra. Where Grover said $20. I want in mornings. Thanks for the show.
Thank you, appreciate it.
$20. Students. They seem to be learning English. It's called language immersion. He just uses British history and current events to leverage the content for YouTube views.
That is really funny. Imagine going to an English class and it's some Chinese guy like talking about the end of the world and Jewish eschatology. That's your immersion in English.
$20. Poop. Your sex $20. Aim with NPR professor. To do $20. I saw Patrick Casey do the challenge. Little Roy $20. At least some good news liaison band in the US. Hoping to see a show in Chicago. Thanks for what you do. Pray
Well, I hope it works out for him.
Average $20. That former ISIS now has Syria tells you everything you need to know about how Islamism, not Islam, has been weaponized by US/ISRL. While Housing/Salafism or fringe ideologies funded and promoted by CIA. Jacob believes $100. Some people follow the narrative. Others say the world and before it happens. I'm his way of vindicating those who speak the truth early.
True.
Courage to say it. America will be first. God bless you, Nick. You have been vindicated. Long live the Republic. Fuck Trump.
Thank you for the big super chat. Appreciate it.
First time chatter I've been watching since Charlie died. The apology is not for finding Christ is king. US
I appreciate it. That's okay. It's okay. Been around a long time.
He won't call out Trump because he's close to him. But
Yep.
he's close to you and man in most numbers. He has the Hebrew Jesus.
I don't trust him, honestly.
She'll help get my act together. Now I'm applying to medical school this year. Logging on study grind fellow chatters.
Love it. Love to hear that. Good luck.
Love the show tonight, Nick. It's amazing to be the lack of recognition you get for everything you predict. Just a tweet from you alone about the 2024 Trump had should have been nailed in coffin.
That's what I'm saying. I never get any respect around here. No
I
credit.
believe that year ago God crucified anyone who said he started war in Iran. Now
Yep.
I'm crucified
They did.
accountable for doing the exact thing.
And they did.
$50. Did you send that $50 gift back for National Women's Day?
I don't know who that is,
And
but
I
thank you.
125 $25. Watch Rachel Wilson, Jerry, remember any more love. Thank you, men, for all you do. We work, that's love you. Think hard emoji.
That's the most pick-me thing I've ever heard. Thank you, men. That's, come on now. Get out of the city. I appreciate it. I'll take it in the spirit in which it was given, but holy pick me.
$40. Got me back in my Catholic faith since finding the show. God bless. Wife's free trouble has day lunch. God chills for Israel lunch and says all he wants is kids wall for me. Good boy. Crime face
Wow,
emoji.
that's crazy.
Someone loses $20. The
Damn,
NPC
that's
blessings.
crazy.
I'm leaving for basics and ready to die for a greatest ally.
Hey, lots of luck, man. I hope you survive. I hope you don't get killed by
$50.
Israel or
Got a scam from
the
the Canadian
terrorists.
close race. Super chatting donation.
Whoa, thank you.
$19 $20. Would you consider going up again? Like this work, I need to concede to what you said. This is about Jewish identity. I give you answers around it to preserve connections, but you have to see.
Yeah, obviously I would go on a show again. I love when people, would you go on one of the biggest platforms you've ever been on? Let me think about that. I don't know.
$20. Me and I by masturbation machine.
You made it funnier. It's crazy that you just made it funnier. That's
$20.
hilarious.
No message, bitch.
Oh,
Average
amazing.
$20. Fun fact. Only 15 to 20% of Muslims globally. Third world from broken countries like Somalia are CIA so not the best representation of actual Muslims by design.
Oh, that's crazy. No, it's not all Arabs. Oh, man. Oh, what are you going to tell me? The biggest Muslim country in the world is Indonesia. The most populous Muslim country is India. Like, hit me with your Muslim fun fact that's going to dumbfound some low information American. Oh, I never realized that not all Muslims were Arabs. I'm in third grade and I have no idea what I'm talking about. Thanks so much.
$20. Thoughts on Iranian women?
That's crazy.
Your own country's destruction to do any part of chat theorem.
Typical women. Every time, every place. People say it's these modern women, it's these Western women. Dude, the Iranian women are betraying their country so they could be whores on OnlyFans. It's
Lord
unbelievable.
rewards $10. Nick, 7 US troops today, $9.8 billion spending the Iran war. I love your lives in the America First movement.
Thanks.
Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, appreciate it.
$100. Thanks for the great content.
Thank you for the big super chat.
$10. If I
Appreciate it.
watch you for 1.5 years, never touched the show 2024 tweet, now all I have to watch.
Let's go.
Iran war bad, but slightly for the movement.
Yeah, it's accelerating
Legend
things.
$10. My brief speech just one theory is how the entire heresy this war is just. Which more people heard?
Love
The
that.
Roy Pat $25. Hi Nick. Will Floyd be considered if we apply for the AF internship? I have experience in accounting/project management. Smart.
Nope. No women.
Some Callahan $10.
None.
If you truly believe 50% of say vote for Democrats, Trump/man is giving Israel everything they want.
It's, honestly, we're beyond caring about
Arsenal
that.
represent $425. They're making it easier and easier to vote Democrat in 26.
Hell yeah, they are. Thank you for the huge super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. 07's in the chat for Arsenal Groiper. Yes, they make it easier with every passing day. It's gonna feel good.
It's disheartening how little everyone seems to care about this war. Sagar had a good take on how big a deal it was when Obama blew up the Kunduz hospital in 2015. Now it's almost indisputable it was Tomahawk missile blew up school that killed 100 kids, and nobody seems to care.
Nobody
Ruthless
cares.
rumors $10. I found some interesting details about Professor Jack. We'll talk about exposing him to
It's gonna feel good.
It's disheartening how little everyone seems to care about this war. Sagar had a good take on how big a deal it was when Obama blew up the Kunduz hospital in 2015. Now it's almost indisputable it was Tomahawk missile blew up school that killed 100 kids, and nobody
Can you believe that in November this year, it will be 9 years since I moved to Svalbard, an island close to the North Pole? My name is Celia, and I'm originally from Sweden, and I moved here with the intention of staying for 3 months. A few months of work and adventure before heading to the next stop in life, whatever that was going to be. But little did I know that this move was going to shape my future, and it ended up being the best thing I have ever done. I will never forget how my first year felt here on Svalbard and getting to experience everything for the first time. I arrived in the deep, dark polar night without really knowing anything about this island, and as the months passed by, I got to experience the magic of the Arctic and discovered one of the most beautiful places in the world. From the long, dark days of polar night to watching whales on my cabin deck in the golden glow of the midnight sun. I love that this year I get to celebrate my 9th year by releasing my first ever book, so don't forget to check that out. Link in bio. Love you guys. Bye. Can you believe
Longyearbyen on Svalbard is the world's northernmost permanently inhabited town. Here are 10 examples of how everyday life here can be quirky. 1. The streets have no names, only numbers. 2. You take your shoes off to go inside public buildings. 3. You can't leave town without a weapon. 4. The population is surprisingly international. 5. Pipelines run above ground. 6. There's a craft brewery here. 7. It's tax-free, but still very expensive. 8. You can own a dog, but you can't own a cat. 9. The local community has made guidelines for cruise tourists. 10. Dying is forbidden. Check lifeinnorway.net for more on Svalbard and all things Norway in English.
ماما
ماما
شنو؟
شلونك نايم؟
ما شوي راح انام.
يلا بروح نام الله يرحمه. عبالي تريد شي مو انت جيت تتجوز؟
بالي واحد هنا.
عبالك اصدقائكم؟
إيه.
خالة منور
آه.
وصلتني وكنا شوي بدنا نسولف.
آه.
بس انت عندكم اصدقاء؟ انا عندي اصدقاء. يلا حبيبي يلا تصبح على
يا
خير.
صافي.
Nobody seems to care.
Nobody
Ruthless
cares.
Zoomer sent $20. I found some interesting details about Professor J. We'll talk about exposing him tomorrow. I'm such a genius.
Interesting.
Ryan sent $20. Watch Iran not only survive, but will push untolerant Syrian puppet states including using Iraq militia and the IRGC forces with the help of Russia and other unknown states in the coming months/years.
Really? Wow.
Susan sent $20. Chris Bowen is Israeli civilians feel this is America's war, and they're helping America. I found it interesting. Travis 23
That is
$7. We lost either way. Iran's unlikely to forget, they'll unforgive. We will pay now or later. Ruthless Zoomer sent $20. Way too many doing it on the timeline. No nigga. Boys aren't just because they wear blue hat and post massive pics. Guys, I'm so fat and anti-woke. Literally go down the hole. Never sim. Never good. The ADL sends its regards.
Facts. It's all simping. Gotta get the simping under control. That's what it is. Especially with the Christian guys, as one of them. But I see it with a lot of Christian men. They're all like, no, but my girl's different. But I'm religious, so that means the rules don't apply anymore. My angel, she would never. Okay, look, it's the flash, bro.
Ruthless Zoomer sent $20.
Flash.
Thoughts on possibly doing three-way streaming call time and time. I could help set it up.
Oh, could you? You'd do that for me? Wow.
Russell sent $20.
Amazing.
The straight form usually free, no way to the American.
She would never. Okay, look, it's the flash, bro.
Ruthless Zoomer sent $20.
Flash.
Thoughts on possibly doing three-way streaming call time and time. I could help set it up.
Oh, could you? You'd do that for me? Wow.
Russell sent $20.
Amazing.
The straight form usually free, no way to the American Israeli ambassadors.
Yeah, that was
Soldier
hilarious.
sent $20. Times are dark, but Jesus wins in the end. God save
Alright.
America. USA emoji.
Well, yeah, the apocalypse can always happen. Thanks for the white
Religion
pill.
sent $50. Media video.
Okay.
Russell sent $20. IRGC Brigadier General Sergeant Green Jabber stated 9 hours ago. We are prepared for 10 years of war. At least 10 years.
Yeah, it's all just
Your
rhetoric.
country sent $25. Will Israel false flag Alexa?
I don't know.
Pro Mom
Maybe.
sent $100. Your candle remains leader of parish, and your name in my prayers. May God protect and keep you. Looking forward to the post show with $100 per month chat. Double emoji.
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about that. Thank you for the big super chat. I appreciate it. And thank you for your prayers. I need a man because it's getting weird out here. It's getting dark and sad and not good. But I appreciate it. Thank you.
In Europe, not destroyed by immigrants.
I don't know, dude.
What places that still feel
Okay, what do I look like? A travel agent? I've only been to like 3 cities in Europe, okay? I couldn't tell you. Google it. Try Claude. It's cheaper. What's the best place to visit in Europe? I don't know, dude. Am I in Europe all the time? I'm chained to this desk like a fucking bitch, doing this stupid ass show every day. You think I get to go and hang out in Europe? I have to sit here and tell you people what to think. Otherwise, you get tricked by Candace Owens. Well, a bullet can never do that. So, I'll let you know. You want to know the best place to visit in Europe? I'll let you know when I retire and I just start living my life.
Defense
No
President
limits.
New York City High Rise. And a golden retriever with a slider remains below $25.
Okay.
So I read get smart like you.
Great.
Andy Sonic at $7.
Amazing.
Did you watch Asmongold streams about Iran War? Real love the guy that takes the first regarding this.
Yeah, I heard.
$7.
Thanks.
I agree not supporting little, but how does the Chinaman make a difference? The story New York City High Rise. And a golden retriever with a slider remains below $25.
Okay.
What books do I read to get smart like you?
Great.
Andy Sonic at $7.
Amazing.
Did you watch Asmongold streams about Iran War? Real love the guy, but his takes have been atrocious regarding this.
Yeah, I heard.
But sent $30.
Thanks.
I agree not supporting little, but how does the Chinaman make a difference? Should we be more vocal or focus on power?
Okay, didn't follow
Angel
it.
Grover sent
Award.
$20. Your
Congrats.
perseverance and dedication to the truth has enriched all our lives beyond measure. I am so grateful. God bless you.
Thanks. I'm the only one
Only
doing
Clan
it,
sent
man.
$25.
Holding down
I'm
the
not much
fort.
older than you, but I grew up on A-Team and Archie Bunker. Bred to be based. No child's play.
Diabolical boomer super chat. I grew up on All in the Family and the A-Team. Amazing. Cool.
Russell sent $20.
Love
Vietnam
it.
was such a disaster. I often wondered how it could have happened. Now I'm watching it happen in real time, and most
Yep.
Americans love it. They truly thought this was going to be easy because of our superior military might, just like Vietnam.
Similar.
Phillips Cell sent $50.
Similar.
Just live life and breathe air, boys. Somehow we're gonna get there.
Breathe air. Remember when Andrew Tate said that about vaping? Breathe air. So true. Just breathe air. Just breathe air, brokey. What color is your Bugatti? Just breathe air. What are you afraid of? Sparkling water? You're afraid of sparkling water? Someone's got to flip the fucking burgers, asshole.
Bobby Trent sent
So
$20.
true.
Is Professor Jank sneaking into empty lecture halls at night to shoot content?
I don't know. It's honestly psychotic, and someone needs to investigate
Toblerone
him.
sent $50. Thank you for the free knowledge and entertainment. And no ads. We're both blessed.
No ads.
Goiling 225 sent $20.
Yes.
Longhorn Groiper. Prayers for those lost in the shooting.
Absolutely.
Sweet
Thank
Girl
you.
sent $20. The amount of gaslighting on X is unreal. So is the amount of people actually believing it. Thank you for all you do.
You're welcome.
Swizzy
Thanks.
Disley sent $20. I hear eating babies will help you keep your youth rock and roll MC Donalds.
Okay.
Top Wang sent $20. W Nick. No, seriously, thank you.
Thanks.
Fembob GR0 E pair sent $20. As a gay guy, we may be going to hell, but at least we don't have to deal with women. Brothers before hoes.
That's crazy. Femboy Groiper coming in at 1 a.m.
Lost Fire TV remote sent
It gets
$30.
better all
You
the
looking for
time.
problems? I'm in the pantry. Smirking face emoji.
I don't know what that
Yahoo
means,
Ubel
but
sent Jaw
thanks.
sent $20. Gang gang.
Thank you. How about you, Yahoo? Nah. Not even a little bit. This is Tel Aviv. Your problem is you don't know where you are.
Muzzy 101 sent $200. True story. In 24 I was at Trump's election night party in FL and was trying to squeeze through people to get front row for Vic's speech. People were annoyed at me so I jokingly say sorry. I'm Jewish with the fake Jew voice. Some woman hears this and started shoving people out of the way for me. No, you don't understand. He's Jewish. He needs this.
That's hilarious. No way. That's got to be made up. Very funny either way, though. Thank you for the big super chat. Oh, I'm Jewish. I have to see Trump. I'm Jewish. This is important. Israel is about to become the number one most powerful nation in the world. That's really funny. Thank you for the huge super chat. Works like a charm, huh? The funny thing is they can't really call you on it for joking because otherwise that'd be super offensive, you know? Come up with the most obnoxious fake Jewish voice. People won't even pretend like they won't even try, you know, to call you on your bullshit.
Criddle65 sent $20. What's one piece of advice that got you through your toughest life moments?
I don't know, man. Be a man. How about them apples? Be a man. That's the only advice. Nothing will ever help you, okay? Nothing will ever help you. When you face the abyss, no one can help you. God can help you. You can help yourself. End of list. You're looking for someone to help you out. That's not how the world works, okay? Anchor yourself to God. Be a man. There's your advice.
John2789 sent $20. Real OGs remember Nix's sent a beard from that one Michelle Malkin stream from 2020.
I don't.
EHC sent $20.
Thanks.
Nick7500 sent $100. God bless you, bro. Before watching and listening to you, I was blind and living for myself. You've opened my eyes to the world.
Wow.
Been reading scripture lately and it's felt so fulfilling. Thank you.
Love to hear that. Thank you for the big super chat.
$7 Casey was trying to
Oh, thanks.
$35 We have to talk about that.
Nope, absolutely not.
Jesus for $75.
Absolutely not.
Just understand it. Help me, please.
No.
Here comes the $725. How did you see my Gosling on weekend? So check it out. Anyway, I have to think he's the first evil leader. He's not American history. I think people off.
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't get some kick out of watching movies about skinheads because I'm a fucking normal person.
You don't have to.
I'm sure you saw Ryan Gosling in The Believer. That's my second favorite movie about neo-Nazi skinheads after American History. Yeah, I don't like watching movies about neo-Nazis curb stomping black people because I'm normal, actually. I'm not a sick, twisted individual. I like La La Land and Oppenheimer, okay? I'm not like collecting movies about GLR and William Luther Pierce, you freak. I appreciate the big super chat.
As soon as
well, but guys, there's problems with him too. I'm trying to say he's a bad guy. Yeah, definitely. Would I go on another million subscriber podcast? Let me think about it. Yeah. Okay, another great question. Super informative. Okay, that's our last super chat. Some of these are a little crazy tonight, but you know, whatever. It's fine. Honestly, it's fine. That's all I got for you. Remember to smash the follow button, smash the like button, leave a comment. I'm on the air Monday through Friday as always. Thank you to our top super chatters. Big special thank you to Arsenal Royper. Here comes the truth. Dragonborn, Lisbeth, Royper in the Swamp, Jessica Girl, Philly, in Florida, Royper Mom, and Nick 7500. Thanks to our top super chatters, all our super chatters, everybody who watches. We love you.
That's my bad.
Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo. It's go.
1 a.m. Oh, nah. Great rest of your
The Iranian nuclear program is going to be destroyed, and anyone who gets in the way, it doesn't matter where they are, either the opposition or the left, gotta go to war. Because
still in a terrorist attack. That was the fault of Donald. Exactly found the correct words to.
As I, I'm sure you guys saw the title of this video, and we're interested to see what happens, so I'm going to do this video a little bit of story time.
Okay, I missed your first. $15,000 video.
These people act like they're all from the hood.
Times of Israel brags about how Tel Aviv is the gayest city in the world. They boast about the gay pride parade. 14. Father's Day, I watched it. What? I saw a muscular dude twerking glitter off of his back. About Tel Aviv is the gayest city in the world. They boast about the gay pride parade. 14. Father's Day, I watched it. What? I saw a muscular dude twerking glitter off of his back. Stuff like this is forbidden in Judaism, but it's so accepted in Israel.
When did he refuse to question
Charlie
Israel?
Kirk was.
I'll watch a little bit. Let's see what's it about. Slap it right in the middle.
Can you name, how about Saudi Arabia with Yemen? Has Saudi Arabia in 10 years given more food? You're not going to answer.
So you're not answering the question. The question was, who's responsible for this starvation?
Yeah, so I think war, again, I don't think there's a mass starvation. You are trying to use the word famine to imply mass starvation. First off, even the IPC didn't even say there was starvation across the whole Gaza Strip. They only classified that as the government. Well, actually, that's not particularly true. I say the group. I'm just really I'm talking about the exact same land. They seem to become fucking terrorists. Anti-Zionist community.
The starvation division. Who does he work for? About the
executed for.
Epstein said that Mossad allegedly assassinated Robert Maxwell because he tried to extort Mossad of their secrets. Only an agent is Maxwell. Appetite for a luxurious lifestyle.
How is this providing you with the evidence?
Oh my god.
First off,
one more time,
I just want to make sure. Are you saying that Epstein? You're saying Epstein said this, so you believe what Epstein says? What you're saying?
This is one piece of the millions of pieces of evidence.
I'm trying my hardest to like find it as you're speaking.
No, so, okay. So here you go. Yeah, if they ever release all the files, they only release less than half and probably far less than that. They've omitted a lot of them.
Please.
I thought you were on a detail. First off, this is not confirmed.
It's Sadi Al-Bakari, 5133, narrated.
We should. So we can prevent the starvation.
You cannot. Not starvation. Not starvation. And I'd be more than glad to answer. You really don't want me to.
Famine. The nation that you're defending is responsible. Is the nation you're defending responsible for this famine?
You already asked that, Sneeko. Do you forget already?
You have many sources why. There's no. What's the other explanation?
Yeah. So again, when you remove all context with these vague virtue signaling questions, it's very easy to just get yes or no because that's what you're looking for. You're not looking for explanation. So what I'm going to say is, can you name for me? So I'm asking you a question. I know it might be hard. Can you name for me any urban warfare where even a city, state, borders, whatever you want to call it, big or small, that was isolated by the other belligerent, that gave more food or even as much food as Israel has sent in, even with all that 90% denial, has sent into the Gaza Strip? Can you name one time in all of even just I was going to say modern history, but even history, where they allowed more food or even as much food as even according to UNRWA, the United Nations, has gone into the Gaza Strip? Can you name? How about Saudi Arabia with Yemen? Has Saudi Arabia in 10 years given more food? You're not answering
the question. The question was, who's responsible for this starvation?
Yeah, so I think war, again, I don't think there's a mass starvation. You are trying to use the word famine to imply mass starvation. First off, even the IPC didn't even say there was starvation across the whole Gaza Strip. They only classified it as Gaza government. Please read it out. 87 pages. Please read it out. I will fucking read the report. It says Gaza government was labeled as level 5. You know what the Gaza government is, Nico?
641,000 people projected to be in IPC phase 5 starvation.
Right, projected. When did they actually claim it? Projection is not when they actually label it.
Who tweeted he's gonna do a.
Dude, we would make a great double date. I like you on the left, and
I think Zucker likes the girl on the right.
They're both on the left. What up, girls? I want to kiss you guys.
How are you?
Oh, I got that white bitch smiling. Let's go.
How are you guys?
What you just
How are you going to talk about the viewers? Yes, people try to destroy your life and stuff. And I get a message check and they said they're going to check it. Is everything okay now? No, I'm still getting botted. I don't have 30,000 viewers. Oh my god, no, I'm still getting botted. They're trying to fly my stream. I'm just trying to sit here and they're 4-4ing it. The stream's shutting off. It keeps getting botted. This is my boy life. Hey, MTV.
You're 16. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Who's Jimmy? I don't know who Jimmy is. Is Jimmy another person? Oh, Jimmy Dore? Oh, now he wants me to come on. I don't know. You're already operating in bad faith. I don't think so. You canceled on me the day off because you said you need to do more research. Then you do a show. You get all your information.
It's fine.
It's fine. Research. Why don't you get your act together? Why don't you correct your own show? Do your research. Do your research. You correct the record. You're a journalist or are you a comedian? Which is it? You have an obligation. You have responsibility. Why don't you correct the record and then I'll come on the show? You got it wrong.
Well, what I think with him, I want to see you guys saying, I think his worldview is just based off of video games. I think he plays so many video games and doesn't really interact with.
What are you trying to say?
Just finish it, whatever it takes. Honestly,
Who's gonna pay
for the first question?
Nick, right? I've got.
I look forward to it. I want to do this stream is late. Let's do it, bro. Let's get it done. It's fine.
No issue with that. But specifically Twitch streamers. I'm basically racist against Twitch streamers. And after my 10 years on Twitch and the 5 years recently, can you really fucking blame me?
Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Figuring this out. Has he DM'd back? Oh, $1 2 continue. Oh. Okay. Has he DM'd back? Let's check. Okay. Trump, you can't tell me $1 2 continue this game. But remember, even Netanyahu said you can pay. Then I go, you know, something about it. When I see something heinous, don't see any lots of warfare happening in America right now. You're seeing it in the stream. You see it every day.
Yo, you see what's happening in Sudan, bro? You start
talking about if you're going to Westport Masjid.
Oh, you know, Westport Masjid, yeah, I see what's happening in Sudan. Free people Sudan. Apparently, it's the UAE doing it. I'm not saying that's what they're saying. Israel's backing UAE.
Should I type in Discord?
Yeah, type it out on you. The UAE behind the Sudan thing?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta start boycotting UAE.
I can't go to Dubai right now.
Yo, I go fuck Dubai. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Bro, they supporting this genocide that's happening in fucking Sudan.
Okay, it's fine. You see it, search Sneeko? You probably have a couple of friends. You see,
Sneeko, low speech?
Yeah, I think you're backing it, but you had me. Fine.
It's
fine. Okay.
you feel a certain way in my own